Hey Nancy Drew fans, we're back for book 37, The Clue in the Old Stagecoach. We jump right into the mystery on page 1 with Nancy, Bess, and George on their way to meet an old woman named Mrs. Strook who wants to tell Nancy about a new mystery when a runaway stagecoach goes by. Mrs. Strook soon explains that her great-uncle Abner Langstreet supposedly left clues to a great treasure in his stagecoach. She'd like to find the treasure so that she can buy a new school for the children of Bridgeford. Nancy immediately takes the case. Nancy and the girls are staying at Camp Merriweather, a resort in Bridgeford, and camp activities are a real highlight in this book. Bess and George play in a tennis tournament, there's swimming, nightly dances, and the girls even try out for a water ballet team. When they finally reach the far edge of the pool, the music suddenly changed to a fast number. Impishly, George said to her friends, "Let's put on a comedy act." "Okay," Nancy and Bess agreed. "You lead us, George." They dived beneath one another as if barely missing a crash, reared up out of the water, made comical faces, and disappeared beneath the surface, all in perfect rhythm to the music. The crowd along the shore clapped and shouted. But it's not all fun and games, and once again Nancy and her friends are in near constant danger. There's a bear, Bess falls into a river and is almost swept up by a water wheel, there are multiple explosions, and the whole gang gets gassed. Poor elderly Mrs. Strook is also attacked, and she's in shock when Nancy finds her, bound, gagged, and unconscious. In this scene, Nancy and her friends really jump into action, and they earn high praise from the local police after they've found several key clues and roped off the crime scene. At that moment, Nancy came from the house with the police officers. When the roped-off area was pointed out to them, Sergeant Hurley said, "Are all of you detectives?" "The only real detective among us is Nancy Drew, but we all go to her training school," Bert Eddleton spoke up with a grin. "Well, I can see that she teaches good courses," the officer said. Ned, Bert, and Dave come down from Emerson College for a visit, and they never learned that before their arrival, the girls were dating other guys at camp. Nancy was dating tall, blonde Rick Larrabee, an excellent dancer who conveniently has to leave the day before Ned's arrival to take care of a sick mother. When announcing Ned's visit, Nancy gives some truly terrible advice. Coming back, she told the girls what Ned had written. Instantly, Bess, blushing a little, said, "Yum, that's super news." And George added, "It sure is. But Nancy, what are you going to do about Rick?" Nancy pretended to look worried, then said, "Some situations just solve themselves." No making fun of Bess moments, but some meals and outfits to mention. Bess brings a lunch of roast beef sandwiches, tomatoes, and cake while the girls are hunting for clues on a local farm. And Ned brings a breakfast of ham and egg sandwiches, thermoses of orange juice, and steaming cocoa after an all-night clue hunting session. To a camp dance, Nancy wears a tailored summer cotton dress of white and yellow, and white slippers with medium-height heels. And the whole gang wears period outfits for a photo shoot in Bridgeport. Shown here with George falling off the stagecoach. Next up, The Secret of the Fire Dragon.